Sedition Act assignment assistance. The first question is your opinion, and how do you usually respond when someone criticizes you? Why do you respond? Alright, so we're going to review this PowerPoint real quick. It's just a couple of slides. So how did John Adams, second president of the United States, restrict freedom of the press? So John Adams was president from 1797 to 1801. During that time, there was a rivalry between Adams' party, the Federalists, and the Democratic Republicans led by Thomas Jefferson. The French and British were at war at the time. The Democratic Republican Party supported the French, which Jefferson was part of, and the Federalist Party supported the British. Remember, they had just fought British to win revolution, but many felt that they needed the British, who was the most powerful country in the world at the time, as allies. So Adams was on that side, let's establish a positive relationship with the British. After the French foreign minister insulted some diplomats who Adams had sent to negotiate with the minister, many people became angry at and suspicious of French people who were living in the United States. Congress passed the Alien and Sedition Acts. Sedition basically means traitor. It means you're a traitor to your country. And these were 4 laws that allowed foreigners to be deported. So people who weren't Americans, if they were stirring up trouble, they could be deported and kicked out of the country. And that allowed anyone who criticized the government to be imprisoned or fined, which goes against a lot of our ideas of the First Amendment. Okay, so, Adams signed the bill into law, and his administration used the Sedition Act to imprison Democratic Republican newspaper editors and politicians who criticized Adams. Adams' critics objected that the Sedition Act was a violation of the First Amendment rights to freedom of speech and freedom of the press. These acts were repealed or allowed to expire by 1802. Vocabulary: enact is to make a law, utter is to speak, procure is to get, scandalous is offensive or alarming to the public, malicious is with bad intentions, defame is to damage someone's reputation, disrepute is to dislike, sedition is encouraging rebellion against the government, and combinations are actions. So let's read it. It's a very short reading today. Alright, we got questions at the end, which we'll go over a couple of them for you. So Section 2 of the Sedition Act. And it be further enacted that if any person shall write, print, utter, or publish, or shall cause or procure to be written, printed, uttered, or published, or shall knowingly and willingly assist or aid in writing, printing, uttering, or publishing any false, scandalous, and malicious, kind of like mean, writing or writings against the government of the United States, or either House of Congress of the United States, or the President of the United States, with intent to defame the said government, or either House of the said Congress, or the said President, or to bring them, or either of them, into contempt or disrepute, or to excite against them, or either of any of them, the hatred of the good people of the United States, or to stir up sedition within the United States, or to excite any unlawful combinations therein, for opposing or resisting any law of the United States, or any act of the President of the United States done in pursuance of any such law, or of the powers in him vested by the Constitution of the United States, or to resist, oppose, or defeat any such law, or act, or to aid, encourage, or abet any hostile designs of any foreign nation against the United States, their people, or their government, then such person, being therefore, shall be punished by a fine not exceeding $2,000 and by imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. So, explain in your own words what 4 kinds of speech, writing, printing, and publication the Sedition Act outlawed. Any speech that criticized, was overly critical, promoted false information, could inspire people to revolt or riot against their government, or was seen as being anti-American, would be subject to punishment. Somebody wants to be friends on YouTube, no thanks. What would happen to these people who committed these actions? Fine and imprisonment. Okay. And then you have 3 questions to answer on your own here. In your opinion, what are the dangers of the president restricting the freedom of the American press? So talk about some of the dangers that would be where the government has final say, or the president has final say in what the press can publish. Do you think there are any situations in which the president should restrict the press? describe in at least 2 complete sentences, or explain why not in at least 2 complete sentences. And then with our current climate with the coronavirus, in your opinion, does a news organization have a right to publish something that is either false or putting people at risk? What should the government do if they find a news organization doing this? So these last 3 questions are totally your opinion. So write a complete sentence, explain how you feel about that. So this is kind of a very kind of controversial issue. I look forward to reading your answers on this. We will talk to you tomorrow.